Thanks for hot. You're on.
Hey, Joe, can you check your text, buddy, in a second?
The show before the show.
Hey, guys, good morning. Welcome in. I guarantee it doesn't feel like Wednesday for most people.
It really doesn't.
I bet it doesn't.
Nope.
Oh, I forgot to get those books, Ben. When Ben Kahn was in last week, he talked about genderqueer. He wanted those books in.
Oh, yeah.
He got the books.
Good.
See, it was like, I know Eric was pushing him over that.
Yeah, I'd like to see him too.
He said most popular book. Isn't that what he said? The
Yeah.
most banned book in America.
The most
Popular
banned
banned
book. Yes. And it was an interesting topic because I'm not for book banning at all because
Yeah,
that's
you
a
are.
slippery slope. No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I am for
What's going on
age
with-
appropriateness in schools.
Yeah, I agree.
You want this one?
I think no, it's working
Is it
now.
working now?
Thank you. I
Okay.
think. I think so.
Electronics, they're lovely, but at the same point, they can fail us.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Show before the show here. It's a rundown. Hey, Michelle and Sasha and Chris and Trisha and Brendan and Sherry and Lizzie and David and Burgundy Nelson, Jody. Good morning from Oregon. Listeners in this morning from Oregon, New York, Illinois, Missouri, the UK. If there's anybody else from a different part of the country, just let our world, I guess, for that matter, just let us know. It's the pre-party. Hey, Chris, Karen, good morning to everybody. We appreciate it.
You know, we have a lot of listeners with like movie star names. Burgundy Nelson. That sounds really good. Sasha Nicole, Michelle Barnett.
I felt bad for Burgundy because when Ron
Pretty
Burgundy
name.
was popular, I wonder if she had to hear about Burgundy.
That's a good question.
Stay classy.
Stay
Hey, Arthur.
classy.
Good to see you, man, from Indianapolis. Spanning the country as we get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
CancelThisShow.com. What kind of housekeeping notes do we have? And
Well, this isn't really housekeeping, but people gave me the phone number of the governor of Missouri and told me to shout the number out so they can call him to remind him we don't want to wear masks and all the jabs. So I mean, I can give that number out if we want to.
yeah.
Poor old Mike. Mike's phone is going to be ringing off the hook today.
I'll tell you right now, we ain't going to be wearing no damn mask in the state of Missouri now. We already went through that, right? We already went through that right now.
Yeah, we ain't going to be doing that.
Nah, Vic, I'm going to be watching my Chiefs. I can't be putting a mask on watching my Chiefs. Oh, you and Lizzie.
Mike, I'm so glad we're not going to be wearing masks here in Missouri. You can't say Missouri. You got to say Missouri.
He says Missouri. I say Missouri.
I say Missouri. But if you notice, there's people that in the southern part of the state that do say Missouri. I don't know why that's like.
Yeah, I know. Our buddy Scott Fawn, Missouri Times, he says Missouri.
Yeah, he does.
He's a Boot Heel guy, but he says he's white trash from the Boot Heel.
So I guess white trash saying Missouri.
No, that's just him.
Yeah.
What you talking about, buddy? You can say it.
I responded to your text.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thanks, man.
You guys are texting back and forth. I'm sure it's steamy. Just
okay, right. It's cool. Yeah, very hot day over here again today in the UK. So we got Indianapolis, we've got Missouri, we've got Illinois, we've got Oregon, we've got to the UK, Michigan. Yeah, people checking in all over the country this morning. Hold on a second before we get started. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I know we got aliens video. We've got a Trump flag video. I'm trying to remember all the other videos that we had again.
Bob Hope on zombies.
The what?
Bob Hope on zombies.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Canada's former defense minister goes public on aliens. Staten Island, St. John's Villa.
Hold on a second. I got to put this on here.
Oh, I'm sorry. You couldn't hear me that entire time. I was telling you the videos.
Aliens, Trump flag, Bob Hope.
Staten Island Villa or St. John's Villa. Migrants at the border.
Yes.
Biden.
Oh, he was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Trump flag.
That's good.
And a man who claims he had sex with Barack Obama.
Yeah,
there's some really juicy stuff with that.
Well, there's been at least 3 men who've come publicly on.
Yes, they have.
I mean, here's the thing. Barack Obama's gay. It is. He's gay.
Everybody knows that.
He's gay.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn anymore. He's not a president.
Right.
Should it have come out? Should the fact that there's dudes saying that they were doing crack together and having sex in hotel rooms come out before he was president? Hell yes. It didn't. And that's it. I mean, we're stuck.
Correct. I think a lot of people were digging.
But it's hard to trust anything the man says moving forward.
Yeah, you can't trust anything he says. Although I think that Joan Rivers was unalived because of that.
Maybe. All right. Let's go ahead and start the show. I guess. Hey guys, welcome into canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe, getting ready to rock your Wednesday. It is September 6th, getting ready for the podcast here today, canceltheshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, live and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. Of course, more people check us out after the live show, but it's so much more fun when you can join us live on one of our platforms, which you can find at canceltheshow.com. Yeah, Robert, I see it. What matters is he misrepresented himself. So what else? I know. I get it. It is canceltheshow.com. Check out all the platforms, the viewing ones, the live ones, and then, of course, our audio platforms as well. All rocking and rolling right there. By the way, you can check out our new, here it is, our new website when it comes to our merchandise. We had some people buying up some merchandise yesterday. We are grateful for that. We had a 2-week hold on that, but go ahead and get your orders in. You go to canceltheshow.com, and it sits right there. We'll pull that site up for you a little bit later. We're ready to get going. You feeling good today, Lizzie?
I'm feeling great.
Any more partying with your granddaughter? Is that all over?
Well, I heard the party with Liberty never ends, so it's a party every day.
There you go. Projo, you ready to rock and roll? You good too? Anything new? Anything new going on?
No, everything's good.
All right. Coming up on the show today, a lot of stuff going on. Mask back in Maryland. Total bullshit. Sorry, it's going on at one school. Parents need to stand up. It won't happen in the Midwest. I'm telling you, it won't if parents don't let it to happen. Quote a mandate, as we've told you before. Not a law. We'll talk about that a little bit. Trump's popularity in New York amongst a lot of people gaining, which is very interesting as we go, oh, look at Trump, Donald Trump, rocking and rolling, getting some things done. We'll get into that as well. Big interview tonight, at least in our circles. It may not be to a bunch of people, but Tucker Carlson's interviewing one of the multiple men who said they had sex with Barack Obama and did crack right before he was president. Very seedy, salacious motels. You get the picture. Get a crack pipe out. Let's go to town. Barack Obama's. That's his deal. So anyway, Tucker Carlson exposing a lot of that tonight. We'll see how many millions of people watch it, because this is, again, just one of the men with a former president. Hey, it's there. I'm torn, whatever. We'll get into all of that. Another Biden blunder. I mean, the dude has totally lost his mind, as we said. Plus, why the hell is Kamala Harris? You want to talk about lack of loyalty? First of all, the broad didn't say anything respectful to Joe Biden when it came out that he wanted her at the border. I mean, she was totally disrespectful. Didn't say anything. Didn't show up. She has been no backer of Joe Biden. Now she's coming out and saying if she needs to take over president.
Of course.
Told you it's going to happen.
Yes.
She'll be ready.
Yeah, she's all ready. That's why
Why is she talking about it? Just pisses me off.
Me too. And she hates Joe Biden. She hates him. She hates him. She hates him. She just wants his job.
But anyway, we're getting ready to set. That's a tease. First, a look, just a quick look at our advertisers, our sponsors. We have a sales team that's growing now. Lizzie's been remarkable putting that team together. Let us know if you know of any advertisers that want to jump in with us, and or some of the other shows that we have coming. We'll talk about that all coming up. The September 6th show, right after this, after a look at our advertisers.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Marco! Wait, what? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Kathy Helbig-Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7655. 53 or find her online at experience-re.com.
Attention, anyone who served, lived, or worked at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Camp Lejeune's drinking water was dangerously toxic, and base personnel and their families have since suffered cancer and other illnesses. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be eligible for significant compensation. Call the Driscoll firm now. Consultations are free, and you won't pay a fee unless we get you the money you deserve. 1-800-805-4800.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo in the house. All right, let's get it rocking on a September 6th. This is cancelthisshow.com. News headlines, politics, interviews from across the country. You've also got cancel culture education, business, entertainment, you name it. And, of course, paranormal, conspiracy theory, free for all Fridays. You don't want to miss those shows as well. And coming up this Friday, we'll go ahead and promote it now because it's only just 2 days away. But we're going to be speaking with a guy who has become the foremost leader with information regarding what happened in Maui. So you're going to get about 30 to 40 minutes of information that we spoke about on this show. I mean, from the very first day, we told you, something's weird about these fires in Maui. Wildfires? Oh, okay. I promise you the information will blow your mind. It is a hour-by-hour timestamp of the things that happened leading up to Maui, after the fire started, what's gone on since, and every piece of it will blow your mind. You can call it conspiracy theory. You can call it whatever you want. But Friday, you will not want to miss the show, 8 to 10, when we have Chris on. Chris is busy doing podcasts across the country now, continuing to get information from people on the ground. What happened? What hasn't happened? Why are certain parts of the island being guarded? Why has water been turned off? Why are police here and there and everywhere? Why are there fake police?
Yeah.
But man, we knew it. I mean, if it smells that way and it looks that way, it probably is that way. Trust your gut. Of course, we're going to break that down on our Friday Wild Free For All show. Okay, Vic Faust back. Lizzie Sparks, Projo here. Tucker Carlson, fresh off having the most popular interview in the country, the most popular TV interview of all time. That's right, Tucker Carlson with Donald Trump. He is now tonight, I believe it's 6 Eastern, 7 Central, doing an interview with a man who alleges that he had a sexual relationship and sex and did crack with former President Barack Obama. Why is Tucker doing this? Well, maybe because he misrepresented himself, Obama, that is. Maybe because it's at least the second, maybe a third man who said, listen, Barack Obama is gay. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's a gay man. Then it leads into, well, is it Michael? Is it Michelle? Whose kids are those? Wait a second. Was there some sort of conspiracy played on the American people? But even in this time in the year 2023, does it matter? Maybe. if Obama's still associated with politics, and we all know his pride and ego keeps him in the game. He can't walk away like the other presidents have. So I'll be curious to hear more about it. Or is it just a salacious hit job by Tucker to get ratings?
No, I don't think it's a salacious hit job. He has plenty of ratings already. This is something
He does.
This has been said for years and years and years. Many of us that really dove in and tried to find out what was going on knew all of this already, but it wasn't in vogue, so to speak, for anyone to talk about it back then. But they've made it okay to talk about it now because it's okay to be transgender. It's okay to be gay, where when this happened before, it would have been looked down upon. My problem.
He never would have been the president.
No,
as a gay
he would
man.
not have. Now he
This
could.
country would not have voted. There's
Correct.
no way.
Correct. But that is the heinous part of all this is he's a big, fat, ugly liar. He just lies. And so you can't believe a thing he says anymore. Nothing. I understand the thought pattern to try to do that so that he can get elected, but he was elected based on lies. He's not anything who he says he is. Not at all.
But the thing that gets me is Tucker is so big.
Mm-hmm.
And is something going on behind the scenes that Tucker felt like he needed to bring this to light?
Yes, I think Tucker has been tired of being muzzled, and he knows all the things many of our listeners know, and we know about it, but now he's on a platform. He's going to get it out because we have been hoodwinked the entire time by Obama. I, from the beginning, was not a fan of him because I was afraid that he was going to come and take over the country with all Muslim beliefs. And this is not...
Well, he did say that the United States was not a Christian nation.
Yeah, he did. And that pissed me off. That's how we were founded. He said that, and it was a Christian nation. Now it's kind of a mixed bag, but he did a great job getting people to hate the police and hate our country and not want to be a nationalist.
I'm sorry, he was a divider.
He was a divider. He was look, I mean, even seeing him, I just see a big divider. He did not come in and try to embrace our already great values. He tried to ruin our country, and he tried to divide. And there's so much race baiting that happened after him. And our police are being our police hate started with him.
Well, he did want to help the less fortunate when it came to his insurance plan, and it was bad for America, but he was trying to help poor. I'm just telling you.
No, he wasn't.
I do believe, and I know I sound crazy, but
you do sound crazy.
But he was a divider.
He was
Overall,
a divider.
he was a divider. And he's the only reason a man like Donald Trump at the time even had a chance to become president. And I pissed off some of my Democrat liberal friends when I said that. It's like, you don't like Trump? Well, look at all the Americans that felt disenfranchised by this man.
Well,
this man here, Obama, is the reason why a guy like Trump ascended out of nowhere.
You betcha.
To the presidency, because this man, Obama, did so much hate. Now, I felt like he wanted to bring those who were less fortunate up to a different level, but he didn't care about the greater good of the entire society.
I thought he heard it. He
did.
Them.
Of course he did.
People that worked for me, preschool teachers make
Obamacare
crap.
was one of the worst things that's ever hit this country. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part about this is the fact that he still lives in D.C.
Yes, he does.
So there's a greater, I'm trying to connect all the dots. Most people don't care that he's gay, and he is gay. Come on.
He is gay. He is.
And you don't have multiple men coming out saying.
Correct.
And you know, if you're gay and you don't want to be gay or anymore, there are programs, there are therapies you can go through, but most of the time, if you're that way and you've acted upon that thought, that feeling, and if that's who you are, you stay that way. Well, okay, fine. If that's who you are, that's who you are. Okay, so be it. That's fine.
Right. That's not the problem.
But the lies, the continued going on with the family, whatever be this case, and if he's still involved in politics, and we know he is, and he shows up at events, and we've already played the videos several times. He wished he could just sit on the couch in his pajamas and call the shots and have a yes man. Biden. Probably somebody who isn't as embarrassing as Biden. And then, of course, as Robert says, so is Michelle, a fraud. Kids,
total
yes.
fraud.
And then Democrats or people who would love the Obamas would listen to the show and go, oh, my God, you guys are crazy or nuts. No, we're just bringing up facts. 3 different times Obama has called Michelle Michael. That doesn't happen by chance. I mean,
Right. I don't.
anybody of average intelligence knows
That's right. That is
doesn't
not a
happen
mistake.
by chance.
Right. That's not a mistake. And there's proof that one of his boyfriends in college, his name was Michael. So I mean, this is so obvious.
Tara says, I don't care if he's gay. I do care if he's a crackhead. That's a great point as well.
Right.
Then of course, I mean, we look further. You can call us crazy. The chef incident recently still, I mean, there's nothing to see here. Autopsy said it was just an accident. Obama's showing up with black eyes and bandaged hands days after it happened. Oh, yeah, it happened in the water behind the Obama house. There's no video to see here. Yeah. Now, Tucker's not a god, but in the entertainment world, he is. So keep in mind, it's like we don't bow at the feet of Tucker Carlson, but when it comes to news media, he is it. He is a quote icon, maybe the best ever to do it because of the introduction to social media and X and what he's been able to do. So there has to be a reason why he and his amazing staff. And by the way, he now has most of that staff that he had at Fox after they left.
They came along with him, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Good for them.
So this is an experienced staff. These are experienced people. They know what they're doing. And I look at things and I'm telling you, as we've talked about this, media and media stories, most of the time, unless it's breaking news, are talked about months in advance.
Yeah.
Stories are being planned. There's a reason. There has to, and I'm just like you're going, there has to be a reason why Tucker Carlson will go from the most popular interview of all time in Donald Trump, 265 million views and counting, to talking to a gay crackhead about having sex with a former president, Obama.
That is so bizarre when you think what our country
Think of that,
has become.
from this to that. And
Yes.
I'm like, there has to be something going on. Or maybe there's been word linked that Obama has plans, because we only find out when we're told we can find out about things. There's so many other things that are below level. I mean, that goes down to local government, state government, national government. We find out when we're told. Things are happening all the time that we don't know about.
Correct.
So why would Tucker focus on this guy?
Because there is something else going on. There definitely is. It could be something that has to do with Michelle, like Michelle is going to run, or something to that nature. Something huge is gurgling up under the surface of this story, for sure.
When you saw it, what was your first impression?
My first impression is that Tucker has been sitting on this forever. And this is a story that he would have wanted to have done at Fox, and they didn't let him do it.
Oh, great point.
That's what I think it is. He's been wanting to get this out for a long time. Because this information, if you went to look for it, it's been out for 8 years, at least, probably longer than that. He's been wanting to get it out, but they muzzled him about J6. They muzzled him about, Obama, because he is literally a fraud. An absolute fraud. And a lot of people know he was a community organizer. And so he was created by this. I mean, he's actually a Bush creation. That's what some people do not realize.
Yeah. Daddy Bush.
Yep. Daddy Bush was friends with Obama's stepdad. And so they created this person, and they didn't want him to be gay. He is gay, but they didn't want him to be gay. So they had to make this facade and turn his boyfriend, in my opinion, into a girl so that he could run. And, he's nice looking. He says the right things to people that were even Republicans that voted for him. I do think he got elected the first time. I really do. I don't think he got elected the second time. So he did all the right things. Well, now the truth always comes out, and it's been out. So people know about it and they want it exposed. Now, are people going to care? Probably a lot of the people that voted for him are not going to care that he's gay. They don't care.
No.
They don't care that his wife is
or they don't believe the person.
Correct.
Because we're a very cynical society as it is.
Yes.
But here is the preview that Tucker put out on X, formerly of Twitter. If you didn't know, so many people still call it Twitter. Here's the video, the preview video for tonight's interview.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like, what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Okay.
There it is, right there.
If they're salacious,
Yeah.
that's salacious.
Now, you do know the mainstream media now is going to continue to attack Tucker and that Tucker's crazy.
Oh, no, of course he wants
And that
that,
he's
though.
bizarre and he lies and all of that. Now, that guy, we don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but he is. He is.
Of course he's telling the
He's
truth.
telling the truth.
Tucker almost sounds dumbed down. He's like, hey, dude, when the former president smoking crack and having sex with dudes.
He had to be dumbed down. Did you see that guy? I mean, he seems like he's from the backwoods somewhere down in Arkansas. And so he probably had to dumb down his conversation if a guy's been doing crack his whole life.
This is cancelthisshow.com. We love it when you are a part of the live aspect of the show. We know most of the people listen to this podcast afterwards or watch it. Aaron says, how many in the mainstream media are gay and smoking crack? Good point. Robert says, boom. It's just interesting to hear Tucker ask the kind of questions. It's almost as if he's having fun.
Yes.
Asking those questions because he's trying to, that's why I'm trying to take this interview seriously. And guess what? I'll be watching. And I guarantee Obama is livid. I guarantee his team, and he has a team, and those around him are livid. Don't upset Michelle with this either. I have no idea where that's going.
Michael, could you imagine Michael at home? Michelle which voice does she use? Her Michelle voice or her Michael voice when she's pissed? You could imagine that voice is just loud and very unhappy right now that this is all coming out.
And by the way, Pro Joe, Steve and Kathy are going to join us via text line. They just told me that in a little bit.
Okay.
Derek says, hey, Trump gets attacked. Polling goes higher. Tucker gets attacked by mainstream media. His viewing numbers go higher.
Correct.
That's right. You attack people. You go after them, unwarranted and without any reason. And boom, there you go. You just help them out.
Yeah.
Robert says, Lizzie, be careful. You just lost the Arkansas listeners.
I'm sorry, Arkansas.
Arkansas, stand up strong.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Arkansas. I actually love Arkansas. I just was trying to think. I almost said Alabama, but then I like Alabama. So I don't know. I apologize very much. I don't apologize for a lot of things in media because I'm just speaking the truth. And that was just my opinion. And I love Eureka Springs and Hot Springs. And yeah, okay. Sorry about that, Arkansas.
And Razorback football.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's tonight, Tucker Carlson. Will anything else be exposed? I don't know. I have no idea. Glenn Thompson wanted to know why Obama did everything he could, paid a ton of money to seal his academic records. Once again, where there's smoke, a lot of times there's fire. Just go check it out. From the birth certificate to his academic records, to the family, to his donors, to getting in the White House, to controlling the media. You name it, a lot of cray-cray going on. There's no doubt that he's behind the scenes. We had the one piece of video in the last year where he was out shaking hands, kissing babies with Kamala by his side. And you see poor little lost Joe Biden in the background. He's just standing there lost like, oh, am I supposed to stand somewhere? And then you see Obama's, hey, how you doing? Yeah, baby, how you doing? I'm the former president. And Obama's sitting back, or Biden's in the background. Like, wow, what am I supposed to do? Obama's involved somehow, somewhere. There's no way in hell Tucker would spend time doing this if something else wasn't going on. I'm calling it right now. Something's going on. Tucker knows, or Tucker and his team have been attacked by Obama behind the scenes, or and or people who are associated with him. It's not just happening. Something's there. Also, last week when Tucker was talking and promoting this about Obama being gay and that it was a farce on the country, that he lied, and then he had this whole fake family, then Obama's older brother showed up to the mix and said, Tucker, we need to talk. Just wait till you hear what I have to tell you.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's sibling rivalries.
Sure.
There are siblings all over America, all over this world that don't get along. And there are instances of maybe one sibling lying about another one who became more popular and successful. It happens. It's real, unfortunately. And you all have probably lived in that situation at some point in time. But would his brother really be coming out this much day after day after day and saying things, listen, America, this has all been, it's a lie.
Right. And I didn't know that I believed the brother at first, even though I thought the incident that he was saying is true, because it's so often the very person that's going to hurt you is a sibling that is jealous of you. But then he kept saying it and kept saying it, and he could back it up. And other people were saying the same thing. So it's, I mean, look at all the creditable people that are coming out and saying something.
Oh, I know. It's just something's got to be there.
Yes.
And yes, I agree with Glenn. There is no doubt in my mind that Tucker will be doing something with his brother, whether it's in tonight's show or in a future show. It is not done. And of course, that's why people say they're worried for Tucker's health. But once again, do we really know where Tucker is? That interview room looks like he's in the backwoods somewhere.
It does, really. It does.
Good luck finding that.
Supposedly it's on a compound that he owns out in the outskirts.
I just figured he and Oliver Anthony were neighbors somewhere. Out in the backwoods somewhere, getting to know each other. Alexander says, I met Dr. Wolf, his stepbrother, honest, nice dude. Michelle, the whole world needs God. Yeah, no doubt about that. We're in a crazy time, and it gets crazier by the day. The other part that you have this whole situation going on tonight is they're going to be a cliffhanger of some sorts. Tucker's understanding it. He's getting it. Media's transforming before our eyes right now. I love it. We're on the cusp of it here at cancelthisshow.com. You see more and more people tuning in to shows like this now. Once they're realizing, we're just not getting the full story anywhere else. Everything else is boring. We need information. We need to be talking about what's really going on in life. So, we'll cover it. We'll do a little recap tomorrow if you haven't had a chance to watch it. But if you get a chance, check it out. And as Robert says, his brother has been saying this way before the first primary of his first term. So it wasn't just after. He said it before. Plus, when Obama ran for Congress, all challengers were, quote, mediated out. They weren't getting the coverage that they were supposed to. Once again, if you look at the back history of Obama and the Soros money and the people bringing him up through the line, even so much so that we even showed on this show a possible relationship, a possible being related to the Bush family. I mean, it's the kind of stuff, George Bush, it's the kind of stuff that gives you goosebumps. Pictures of the family. Dad being friends with the Bush family. I mean, it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Was this person bred to do this? Was this person put in a situation to take over as president someday? And I won't say his name because I've said it already. It goes to the point of selected, not really elected. Americans, I'm sorry, while we can be super intelligent, super patriotic, super strong, all about our country, super sweet and kind, we can also be super dumb and trusting everything that's out there because, well, why would somebody want to hurt us? We couldn't imagine that. Hollywood never comes to life. We're seeing it more and more now. Yeah.
More and more all the time. And I think many people have been researching this for a long time and knew that this was coming, but the average person didn't. They wanted Obama. They thought, okay, I've been a Republican my whole life, but I can't stand George Bush, and he got us in the wrong war, and he's promising better insurance, and he's nice looking. And I knew many people that were Republicans voted for Obama who didn't the second time. And I was shocked that they did it, but he promised them things that He didn't deliver. Well, he did. He did deliver the biggest one, is that he was going to completely transform America. And he did do that.
Alex says, what about the gay prostitutes that claim to have done coke with Obama decades ago? Yep, that's when it started.
Yes.
No one believed them until they mysteriously died a few months later.
Yes.
Glenn says, hey, guys, you're the only show that covers this topic. Well, thank you. We're just trying to bring everything out that we can. Derek says the Bush and the Obamas are related. Everybody knows they are distant cousins. There are pictures to prove that too. If I had them right now, I'd bring it out. Didn't know we were going in this direction. Kevin says the Manchuria candidate. You got it. And of course, what was the other comment I wanted to get into there?
Well, Vic, you can bring those.
Supposedly there's a picture of an 8-year-old Barack Obama with Bush Sr. That's the show. That's the picture we showed on this show. Try to get to as many comments as we can, guys, as we look down. But it's just a crazy, amazing topic. And it's not going anywhere.
No.
And I don't know.
I hope it all comes out. I hope it all comes out. And people who didn't believe it now believe it.
What? What aspect?
Believe all of it. Believe that he has duped them from the beginning, that he's never been who he said, that they do realize that he's been born and bred to do this by the Bushes, that he has literally been gay this whole time, and that he's not married to a woman, that he's married to a man. This all needs to come out. People can make a choice whether they think that's okay or not. That's not my problem. My problem is he's been a lie the entire time, brought here to divide our country on purpose. This is not accident. He was brought to divide on purpose. I know that just makes you go.
If so, it's been a very well thought out, planned, executed job from the get-go. And I'm just, like I said, I don't trust a lot anymore. And I'm grateful for Tucker doing this. I am.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same point in time, I'm not quite sure if it's going to mean anything. If you already knew about Barack or said that, okay, whatever. And people don't care if you're gay. It's just, were you lying? Were you doing coke? Were you not honest with the American people? Why are you trying to do anything with politics now?
Right.
You're going to have to come clean before you come out starting to say all kinds of things that you've got going on.
Well, and because it's Tucker Carlson, already the mainstream media and Fox, who's part of the mainstream media, already hate him. So it's not going to bring in maybe too many other people the other way because they vilify him. He is just the demon of all demons because they are portrayed. Tucker Carlson is a liar. And you're going to watch that. You're going to even watch some conservatives start to believe that. But I can't see any proof that Tucker is some sort of a demon. He's a journalist that got the words out. But there are some conservatives that will fall for that.
No, I mean, well, there's people that think that he's part of the deep state now.
And if that's true, I want somebody to send it to me because I have heard a couple people say he is part of the deep state.
If it is the deep state, they have done a deep dive that has been fabulous with Fox moving through.
Correct.
I can't remember. It was one of our viewers. It might have even been Robert here who shares a bunch of information. Very difficult for me, especially when it gets into topics like Obama, unless it was planned out. Oh, this is the way we're going to let the world know that, hey, we're going to as I've talked about before, in life, many times instead of telling somebody, no, we're not going to do that. Well, maybe, let me think about it. Then you let time go by and then it's like, well, it could be, then it's like, well, maybe I did this or maybe I'll do that. So it's a slow burn to finally get into that point. Well, probably not. We're not going to do that. Or it is this way. I wonder if I'm talking hypothetically.
I
if
think
there was a deep state movement to have Obama come out as gay.
I honestly think it was a plan from the beginning. Or they just wanted to make him be the president because he were going to divide. And it just so happened to be that he was gay and they tried to hide it. But you notice that the last part of his presidency, they pushed hard for the bathroom thing. They sent all schools, including my preschool, the whole bathroom issue that we would have to change our bathrooms. This went out into every school across the United States, even preschool. And at that point is what made me look into Why? What of his motivation that boys and girls now have to share the bathrooms and boys can go into girls' bathrooms and all of that? So maybe that was his way of saying, okay, you guys muzzled who I really am and I did your bidding, but now I'm going to tell people who I am, because it was in his last year he started pushing that hard.
Interesting take from Helen. She says he's like Vivek, a
Mhm.
liar and impersonator.
I agree with her on that. The more that I see of Vivek, I kind of
You
like
call him a liar?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I'm not a big fan of him, and this is going to get a lot of people.
I'm not calling him a liar yet.
Not like what I'm saying. Well, he's at least an impersonator. He's impersonating other people, including Obama, taking words right out of his mouth. And he took money from Soros. I am not interested at all. I mean, look what Soros did to even our state and all the states around with the BLM, and they ruined businesses. If you're a small business owner, you should not want Vivek, because if he took money from Soros and Black Lives Matters comes around your business, Vivek isn't going to do anything. He's not going to do a thing. Is he kind of a nice looking, smooth talker too? Sure, he is. He's a nice looking
That's
young
where
man.
he's like Obama.
Yeah, and he's got nice white teeth and all that. But you deep dive
Skinny
on
guy
him at
with a
all.
funny name.
Yeah. You're going to find things about him that just don't make your gut sit right.
Okay. Well, this whole Obama situation, we'll find out maybe more tonight. Clearly, you won't see it anywhere else besides Tucker. You'll find podcasts like ours, shows like ours. So we'll try to break down, get to the bottom of it, but we'll watch it. We'll break it down tomorrow. We'll see what we're going to do. By the way, Alex wanted to say, hey, he didn't take money from Soros. He got a grant years ago for his master's program from a Soros-funded organization. I don't know if you're sticking up for him, just trying to get information out. He did take it. It was a Soros-funded situation. I was told that even though he said he didn't have money at the time, I was told he did. Who knows? Whatever. At the end of the day, Helen says he's a big pharma hack.
Mm-hmm. He definitely is.
And he isn't being honest about who he is. Whatever. I mean, it's not a debate about Vivek. I mean, he's not going to win the Republican primary. He's just not.
Correct. And we have people on our chat line are split about what they think about him. Like Donna's saying, did we watch the Anomalies interview with Vivek yesterday, that he asked him great questions and he's got the receipts. So some people are saying that. So some people are saying he's got the receipts, he can back up what he's saying, and then others think he's a plant by the Democrats. But regardless, he's not going to be the presidential candidate.
No, he's not. And we're continuing to talk about that. By the way, we'll talk more about this Obama situation. His organization is like Rumble is to big tech. Kind of does the opposite, I guess. That's what he's trying to get into.
Could be.
Anyway, we're going to continue to talk about that. We've also got to talk about the school. Yes, there's a school in Maryland that handed out N95 masks to their kids. They're the first one now, trying to put a, quote, mandate. Remember, a mandate is not a law. You do not have to follow. And if somebody tries to come after you, it's not going to be easy. But I'm telling you, they're lawyers. I have a lawyer friend, 7 for 7, getting people their jobs back. If companies want to get stupid and try to come after you and do this shit all over again, just let us know. I'll direct you to the right people. Also, it's up to the parents to stand up, because you know this has become a blue and red issue. It's not a health issue. It's not. And there's no documentation, no evidence that shows masks work. As a matter of fact, the testing that has been shown is showing that masks don't work as opposed to working. Insane what's absolutely happening. We're going to get into the support for Trump in New York now. It's it's really turned around. Why is Bill Gates buying millions of dollars of Bud Light stock?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, he's going to bet on their return. Was that done purposely? I'm telling you, this stuff.
Gosh,
it's Bill Gates jumping in with Bud Light now yesterday. Biden with another blunder yesterday. But people who never have blunders are the Stricks. Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick. We normally have them live in studio, but today they're joining us from the Lake of the Ozarks. My God, it's bright there. Is it sunny in the Ozarks?
Yes, it is.
It is very bright here.
Yes.
Hey, I was thinking about you guys the other day, and I know interest rates don't always, when we talk about inflation and interest rates, it's not talking specifically about homes. It can indirectly affect what you guys are doing, right? Because I heard more bad news, but Steve, you told us it was coming. Is that what you saw again this week as well when it came to interest rates? Also, that the central bank and everything they're trying to do to get to that 2% inflation, it's not working. It's going the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not working. I think that we're going to see another small hike is what, they're potentially saying, but what is that going to do? Hopefully that's the end, but we don't know. It's one of those things, though, that every year during the month of August, it does tend to slow down, but I literally saw an uptick yesterday. So over the Labor Day weekend, yesterday we had quite a few contracts come in across the country, and people seem to be out there. But it's all seasonal.
No, that's good. We're talking with Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick, Kathy Helbig-Strick, Experienced Real Estate Partners. Their phone numbers roll at the bottom of the screen. And if you're listening to the podcast, that is 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. If you have any mortgage questions, you're not going to find any better than Steve as well with New American Funding. His phone number is at New American Funding, 314, hold on a second, 314-374-0770, 374-374-0770. We'll talk some NEUAGE Health and Wellness in just a bit, but we didn't want to complicate the issues. What's been new over the last 2 weeks from a real estate standpoint, I guess, in the Midwest and the Missouri area, Kathy?
It's just like Steve said, it's funny because people are talking about the interest rates, but yet, like I had a referral from somebody, I talked to them and they're like, hey, no rush because, with interest rates the way they are, we're not going to do anything for a while, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day they're sending me houses and they're like, maybe we look at this one. So it's like, it's not really holding everybody back. And, when you think about it, when rates do come back down, what's going to happen to the house prices? They're going to go right back up again because everyone's going to rush out, and then it's going to be everyone after the same houses. So we're going to be back in the same situation of a lot of money over list to get a lot of these houses. So some of the people are thinking, maybe I'll gamble a little bit with the interest rate right now. Maybe I'll go in and get a little bit better price on a house, and then I'll refinance when the rates come back down. So we're seeing those people come out and buy. This is normally a really, really quiet time. And I've had probably 6 or 7 listing calls in the last 10 days.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
I knew times were tough for you guys.
They have been. They have been. But all of a sudden I'm like, man, all these people are coming out of the woodwork, which is really odd because usually September is the quietest month of the year. It has been for my 26 years of history.
And it's going to blow up this September, isn't it?
I mean, we've got the phones ringing, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD, whether you're buying, thinking about buying, selling, whatever the case, you, your family members, your friends, don't do it alone. Before you choose anybody, choose Experience, choose Kathy. She comes on every Wednesday and explains the best ways to handle every situation you possibly can. Kathy, has there been anything recently where you've seen buyers or sellers make mistakes and you're trying to clean something up, or another situation, maybe you gave advice and it's like, oh, wow, we should listen to our experienced realtor because this really helped us out with this sale or with this certain situation?
Yeah, a lot of things are around how the contract is worded, what's important to you, appraisals, building inspections, things like that. People make the mistake of there's a one clause in the contract that can really sink your contract, and it's not really necessary for you to have it in there. And it's the buyer's walkaway clause. So a lot of people are still just out of naivety leaving that in there. So if you need to negotiate some other things, you need to figure out how to strip down the contract with contingencies that don't really matter to you in particular. So if your appraisal really, really matters because you don't have the extra money, then maybe go in a little tighter on your inspection wording. Maybe take that buyer walkaway clause out. Just things like that we still see small mistakes being made. Trying to think of something. Oh, we had somebody recently come in that for whatever reason just insisted on using the listing. We only want to work with a listing agent, only want to work with a listing. Sometimes that's an advantage. Sometimes it's not an advantage. So it just depends. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to think you're going to save commission by using one agent? Probably not going to happen in this market. So you got to think about those things too. Is what is your end game? What is your goal of trying to do that? Because if you don't commit to an agent, and especially a buyer right now, if you don't commit to an agent, and agents are running ragged, they're running buyers through 50 houses. They're writing 20 contracts that aren't getting accepted. So what does that mean for the agent? They don't get paid. They're doing all this work for months, maybe even years. In some instances, we've got some of our agents that are working with people for 2+ years.
And nothing?
And nothing. So they've had no pay for the hundreds of hours they put in and the dozens of contracts that they've written. So if you're coming to the table and going, hey, I'm not going to even commit to you, where do you think you're going to fall in the priority line? When it comes to a hot house that comes on the market, we might have 3 buyers that want the same house, because inventory is light. So you got to think about those things too, and don't try to be so non-committal that you non-commit yourself out of opportunity.
Yeah, talking with Kathy Helbig-Strick of Experienced Real Estate Partners, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. We have that phone number rolling for you at the bottom of the screen. You can also contact Steve with New American Funding. He'll get you the best advice that you can possibly get when it comes to anything mortgage, anything with the rates, as we talk with Kathy and Steve on a weekly basis about just how to make good decisions, how to get good advice, because a lot of times if you're not doing it every day, you're not going to be up to date on everything. So you can contact Steve as well at 314-374-0770. From a mortgage standpoint, Steve, has anything happened in the past couple of weeks that you think is noteworthy that people say, hey, you need to be aware of this or just think about this as well?
I do have something interesting that has popped up, and it's popped up in the last month or two. When the real estate business was hot, the mortgage business was hot. So there were a lot of real estate owners, broker owners, and agents that thought that they could do it a little bit better on their own. What I mean by that is I saw a lot of real estate agents that had relationship with lenders, and then they saw this shiny object and they went and tried to open up their own mortgage branch. They tried to, start a new franchise. Now that it's been tougher over the past year, they're starting to see that our business is a little bit tougher than they thought. There's a lot more that goes into it. So what I'm seeing is the need for somebody that's really, really good on the mortgage side, on the lending side, to help them get their deals closed. Because we've had people in 2 different states in the last 2 weeks that we worked with, they went out and started their own thing, and they're crawling back right now because they need our support. So it just goes to show that it's very important to have somebody that's really well-versed in the lending side in today's market, the same as you need a real estate agent as well. So that's what I'm seeing, because the deals are tougher to get done.
Boy, it is interesting. Stay the course, huh?
Yeah.
You can say that all the time. When times are good, you don't learn anything. When times are bad, that's when you learn, right? So people are learning.
Please be quiet already. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear that. That's not fun. That doesn't taste good, Steve.
Yeah.
I know, but it's real.
Talk about not tasting good on a national level. Remember I talked to you about the commission disputes that are going on with the National Association of Realtors. Well, Anywhere, which is the new name for Realogy, which is the parent company of all the big brands like Coldwell Banker, ERA, Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens, all that stuff. They just settled on that lawsuit for want to say $87 million or 86 point something million dollars. So they settled, and they're going to change their way of doing things. So this might be the beginning of seeing that change that we talked about.
That's a good thing. Right?
Is it?
I thought. Well, correct me if. How does it affect people?
So remember what it is that it would change how listing compensations or real estate compensation is handled. So instead of having the listing agent receive the commission and then share it with the buyer agent, it would have not necessarily any buyer agent compensation available on that listing from the listing contract side, leaving buyers to have to go find their own agents, pay them out of pocket instead of into the price of the house. So it can really change how everything's going to be handled with buyer representation, really.
Yeah, I misunderstood. I remember you talking about that now. Well, I got some better news.
Yeah, good.
From that.
I got some good news.
Good.
Bobby's on the line.
Bobby Horvath says, "Tell it, Steve," with an exclamation point.
You betcha.
For our listeners who may or may not know, Steve and Kathy also own NEUAGE Health Wellness.com, NEUAGE Health Wellness. And from that standpoint, and once again, because we've had people, they were asking me off air, Well, Steve and Kathy are into that too, and no, they're not giving shots. They're not doing. They have doctors on staff, nurse practitioners on staff.
Yes.
This is a separate business. They talk about the experiences that they've had that have helped
Got
them.
your listing appointment. I bend over, get you your.
Yeah.
shot.
Wouldn't that be nice if you could just tell people to
And
bend
sign
over
your
in the
real
house
estate
sales?
contract.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Lindsay, we haven't talked to you since you got your results back and you went back for your consultation. So what's your good news?
It is all good news. So about 3 weeks ago, I went and had blood work, and people are asking me how many vials. There was 5, and it didn't hurt at all. And I am a person that's afraid of needles, and it didn't hurt at all. And then the next week I came back in and they gave me the results. And what I was really surprised about with the results is they said I didn't need anything. Like all of my levels were fine.
Look at you, Superwoman.
Well, I thought that was odd, but they thought it was fine. So but I still said to them, I still would like to, I'm now on camera. I look 10 pounds heavier. I would like to lose 10, maybe even more now that I'm on camera. So what's interesting is, so I did go on the semaglutide and they give me a vitamin B shot with that. Here's something that is so great. I sleep through the night now. The only problem that I really had was I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe menopause, whatever. And at this point, I haven't gotten any more or less energy. But what is great is when it becomes nighttime, I can sleep. It is just a beautiful thing. I sleep all night now and haven't done that in years.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm purposely not going to weigh myself till I have to go back because I don't want to focus on that. I just want to feel better in my clothes. And so I went back, got the shot, and there's 2 shots, one little one that goes in my stomach, one that goes in my arm. But then my husband came with me the next time so that he could administer it himself.
Right.
And so I think he's getting a little gleeful that he gets to literally poke me in the stomach.
Stick it to you.
Yes, but it doesn't hurt at all. The only side effect I got at all is so minor. It's some weird kind of headachy thing, but it doesn't last at all.
Yeah.
It just happened the first week. Now I don't have it at all. And I guess the semaglutide does this. I'm not hungry, so I'm not just shoving food in my mouth all the time.
Exactly right.
And my clothes are already looser. Don't know what the weight loss is. I'm going to wait till I think it's 6 weeks before I go back. I think I have 6 weeks.
Yeah, because some people don't feel the effects of the semaglutide with weight loss immediately that first month. You know, so some people, they drop 10, like boom, it happens right away. Other people, it's a longer, slower ride to get that weight to come off, but it comes. You just got to stick with it if it doesn't happen for you.
Well, and I already feel like it has already. The first
might be one of the ones that like crazy.
I already feel it. I already feel my clothes are looser. Like I'm in a pair of shorts I didn't wear last summer that I wore like 4 summers ago, and I'm already in them.
Awesome.
And
there we go.
so that was really exciting. And
Kathy and Steve, can you spell semaglutide? We had a woman that wants to know exactly what it is, hearing us talk about it.
It's semaglutide. So, a lot of people just know semi, but it's SEMAGLUTIDE.
Okay. And of course, you can go to NEUAGEHealthWellness.com, NEUAGEHealthWellness.com.
NEU, not NEW, NEUAGE, New Age. And it's the active ingredient, guys, of what you hear for Ozempic on the television.
But it's not Ozempic.
It's not Ozempic.
Not Ozempic.
That's correct.
No, and it's great. It doesn't hurt so much. Trisha was asking on the line, how big are the needles? The semaglutide is so little. The needle is so dinky, you don't feel it at all.
It's an insulin needle.
It's tiny. The B12 shot that I'm getting, that's a little bit bigger. And the first time I took it, it was almost like the feel of a tetanus shot. Not that it went in that hard, but like your arm was sore the first time. But when I took it the second time, I make sure that now that I take it and then I go for a walk, so I'm moving my arms, and it didn't hurt at all. Like I didn't feel it at all.
That's great.
No, now you can do the vitamin shots in your muscle, your behind, your arm, whatever. Look, here is the insulin needle. You can't even see it.
Yeah, it's so
very small.
Teeny tiny.
Very small.
It's Yep. And so Glenn was asking, so it regulates blood sugar, and they say it does that. But what I was very impressed with is when you go there, it's not just your brother's uncle's cousin telling you what to do. I was very well taken care of. Jason, who we've had on the show before, he's the business manager. He was great, explained all that. Courtney is the one that originally, gave me the shot and all of that. And then I went back again, and gosh, I'm sorry, her name just
Leah.
Yes, beautiful blonde.
Yeah.
And we sat in there and talked forever because she's just fun to talk to.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And so when you leave, there's no question that you have that they didn't answer that you could feel comfortable with if this is something for you. And I haven't had to call them back, but I wouldn't hesitate to call back because they're so freaking friendly there.
Yeah,
They
we've had
really
other
are.
people who have signed up.
Something you said in the beginning, Lizzie, is that you said everything seemed to be in the normal ranges.
Mhm.
No one was trying to upsell you anything.
Correct. No one tried to upsell me at
That's
all.
important.
Nowhere. They showed it to me. They went over every single thing with my hormone levels, my vitamins, all of that. Showed one little area that maybe will tweak only if by losing the weight that could get
Right.
affected. But that was it. And they said losing weight, sometimes those can be affected.
Mhm.
But other than that, they did not try to upsell me at all. They did after that, they didn't even try to upsell me to do the semaglutide. That was me saying, hey, I'm on camera. I really would like to do that.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
that was them. That was me wanting to do it.
Her
They-
clothes are literally hanging off of her body right now.
I mean, no, he's
See
being,
that?
he's being
I see
nice.
a couple
but-
questions I'd love to answer. It is not HGH, which is actually HCG. There's not the HCG type of weight loss. So that's a pregnancy hormone. And it is not more than $700 a month.
Oh no, not even half of that. So the money is well worth
Yeah.
it.
And once again, NEUAGEHealthWellness.com. Check it. You can go to the website. You can go to canceltheshow.com. You can find them. Let them know you found out, or let us know. Make an appointment. Check it out.
Mhm.
And see what's there for you. You get your blood. That's how it starts off.
Correct.
You test what is going on the inside of you before you do anything, and you make your choice. Very, very simple.
Well, even if you absolutely don't want to lose weight or you're not worried about your hormones or anything, everyone should get their blood tested. And the cost of getting your blood tested is cheaper than I would have paid with my insurance.
Yeah.
And Jason said I could say this: if you say cancel this, you get $50 off your initial blood work.
Damn, does Steve and Kathy know that?
Well, I don't know. but-
Yeah. Whoa.
So
Yes. And not only does it regulate your blood sugar, I think Glenn asked that, it slows down the processing of the food. I don't have the medical terminology exactly for it, but your food lasts. So not only is it controls your appetite,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
affects your insulin, and then it also has the food last longer in your gastric system. So that's part of the not being hungry again. So you eat something smaller meals, and then
Yes.
it's hours before you're even hungry again. So it's multiple things happening that is allowing the weight loss to take place. And then some people, I had somebody that, you get a lot of, there's still fat shaming, and there's shaming about, oh, you're taking the lazy route of taking shots and things like that, which makes me want to strangle people because
Mhm.
super judgmental, and that's also a form of fat shaming. And some people need that boost. Some people need to feel some of the weight come off first and then start changing some of their habits, which I feel like my experience with trying semaglutide is that after a while, you do start changing your thoughts about food. So being on it and it lowering your appetite, I started craving things differently. And then when you see some results in your body, you do want to then eat healthier and make those changes. So don't feel like it's the lazy way out. Some people metabolize differently, especially for women that are in perimenopause or menopause or postmenopause. You can pack on weight because your hormones are doing things differently too. So that's why it can be a 1-2 punch with getting your hormones fixed or optimized and going on the semaglutide to get you kind of back to your reset weight. And then you can go on a maintenance dose or you can go off of it.
Hey guys, before you take off today, and we're grateful for the time that you've given us, I needed to get back to a question that Michelle had as we were making our switch from the real estate mortgage talk into New Age. We had a question from Michelle. She said, I need to find out who the underwriters are for Penny Mac. I didn't know if they were serious, if they were joking. I didn't know what the situation involved. She said, any suggestions on how I could try to go about locating them?
I would think that that's going to be a very, very, very hard thing to do. I mean, whether you know who the underwriters are or not, most likely you're not going to talk to them as a client, as an agent. Everything funnels through the salespeople for the most part. So,
Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick, New American Funding, Experienced Real Estate Partners, and of course, NEUAGE. Guys, thanks for an awesome. What are your plans for today? You guys going to get out in the lake, or are you all working?
We're working a little bit today. We worked yesterday. We're going to try to play a little bit tomorrow.
Did the lake get totally empty now?
It's empty. It's empty, but it is sunny. It is quiet
Yes.
and sunny. So yeah, I think we're going to get out
Low
there
to
tomorrow.
mid 80s and sunny the rest of the week. So we're staying here.
Then you can actually take jet skis out safely.
Yes,
That's right.
Absolutely.
There are no ropes in the way of any jet skis.
Love it.
Hey guys, Steve and Kathy, love you guys. Talk to you later. We appreciate it.
See you guys. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Always good to catch up with Kathy and Steve. Again, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. If you have any questions regarding real estate for yourself, your family, buying, selling, just thinking, give Kathy's team a call. Let them know from Kathy let them know that you heard about them and like watching them on canceltheshow.com. You can also go to NEUAGEHealthWellness.com, NEUAGEHealthWellness.com to check out more information from a health standpoint, just like Lizzie has done and several other of our listeners as well. Heather, by the way, chimed in and LOL and said, good luck with Penny Mac. Yeah,
Penny Mac.
It's tough. Michelle, I'm sorry. I know we all deal with some of those situations that we have to go through in life. That's for sure. We're going to get into the Biden stuff in just a second. The Maryland school that's now forcing little kids to wear masks. If I would, I'd have it. I would have it. Parents, I would take my kids out. I would do whatever at this point in time. Trump continuing to gain support in New York. It's getting bigger and bigger. Why is Bill Gates buying AB stock now?
Isn't that interesting?
It's all millions of dollars of AB stock. What's going on there? Once again, just study the whole situation over and over and over again. Obviously, Experience Realty, NEUAGE, New American Funding, they are advertisers for the show, but our main news advertiser for what we do is Complete Auto Body Repair, Curtis Barks and crew. Anything with your vehicle from A to Z. 7 climate-controlled facilities throughout the St. Louis area. If you're looking for a job, let us know. Give them a call. If you're a technician, you're not going to find a better place to work than in one of their climate-controlled facilities. They pay the highest wages. They're constantly interviewing. They're constantly looking for people, excluding the sales department. They need lots of salespeople as well. They own several companies. Chances are you're going to find something. Also, Vehicle Protection Group, Todd at vpcnetwork.com will be an early Friday morning before we get into the Free for All Friday show, which you will not want to miss, which we've been talking about Maui, what really happened, what's going on. We talk with experts and a gentleman who's getting video and firsthand accounts of what's happened from the start, what's been going on, what's currently happening. We'll get into all of that as well. Greenlight Dispensary, it is Weed Wednesday. We'll talk with Greenlight coming up at 9:30. Emily Williams about their underground event where you can get product cheap. That happens once a month. We'll get into all of that coming up. And of course, Strategic Air Services. They really put the comfort in private flying, luxury flying, no matter where you're going to go. And it may shock you how inexpensive it can be depending upon where you're going and how many people are traveling with you. We're grateful for them. Carroll House Furniture in the St. Louis metropolitan area. You can order their stuff online as well. Check them out. Carroll House have been with us from the start. We're appreciative of everything they do for us. Okay, this is canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. And as Derek just reminded us, tomorrow's really the 200th show.
Yes, it is. It's tomorrow, 200 shows. And I think we're going to be celebrating it on Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Well, that gives us another day to try to put something together for Friday.
It's Friday. We're going to do it on Free for All Friday, but tomorrow is the big 200.
Well, we got Eric in studio Friday.
Yes.
We've got Kelly Mano in studio on Friday.
Yes.
And at least 30 minutes of the show Friday is can't miss when you want to find out what's happened with Maui.
Friday's
I promise you the information is going to blow your mind. You've heard some of it, but then when you actually get some firsthand accounts of what's actually happening there, it will blow your mind. Once again, that's coming up on Friday. So 200 episodes already. That's a lot of shows.
That's great. That is
it's
really
a lot.
great. A
Doesn't
lot
seem
of
like
talking.
we've been doing it that long. That's for sure. Kevin says Bill Gates is rewarding AB for being obedient and woke. That might be the case. Who knows? They get more from Bill Gates than they would have made from selling their own Bud Light product. Cancelthisshow.com. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central Time, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. And once again, another update, because if you go to cancelthisshow.com, our merchandise store is now open. You can go to our website. You can go cancelthisshow.com. You'll find it there. It's open for business. By the way, ladies' ponytail hats, which were super popular, are going to be available this evening.
Yes. By high demand by the ladies.
He says my models get off school this afternoon.
Good. And then they'll be modeled. Love it.
You get an idea. Hats, T-shirts, Trump shirts, cups, coolies, whatever. I mean, every sort of thing you can possibly imagine to drink from. We've got that there. Showing you the website right now. Go to cancelthisshow.com. You can find out and help us. When you buy it, you get some really cool merchandise. You help your show, or you help our show that you listen to as well. And we just appreciate it. Thank you for those who have already made some offers. Derek does an amazing job.
Yeah, he does.
Derek, if you could put your link, if you're still listening, in regards to how people can do merchandising through you, not only for cancelthisshow.com and buying our merchandise, but the other products. You're a company. You do a lot of design when it comes to everything for several companies. You make some of the best boards I've ever seen when it comes to the cornhole boards.
Yes.
I mean, those are just incredibly the mugshot America deserves.
I love it.
Inside Out Custom Designs. It doesn't matter where you live. Derek can work for you. You can get your stuff. He's one of the best. He's jumped in with Cancel This from the get-go. He's been loyal to our cause, what we do, and we appreciate him doing that as well. Okay. We got to start with this just real quick. I mean, kick it back up. Joe Biden gives us fodder on a daily basis. We've talked about that several times. Yesterday, they were trying to honor a national war hero. And Joe Biden, as you will see, is lost. At first, we were told he was going to wear a mask, and he had a mask on. Then he took his mask off because it sucks. He knows they don't work. And then he just abruptly leaves.
Ugh.
He just walks off stage before the ceremony's over and just takes off and leaves this war veteran who flew his helicopter in Vietnam back into enemy fire, behind enemy lines, to rescue a chopper that went down, 4 individuals, risking his life, finally gets honored. And this is what happens. Joe just takes off stage. Okay. First to Joe. Hey, Jojo, can we watch that again from the start? Is that possible with that video?
Ladies and gentlemen.
You have to just see, he literally shakes his hand and just walks off stage. He ruined a moment for that man. There was absolutely no doubt about that.
Awful.
There was nothing pressing for him to race to, and there's also a way to handle that. And he just walks off stage. We already know. Oh, Glenn has a great line. Was he looking at his watch the whole time too? Just as he did when he respected Mark Schmidt's family when the bodies of their loved ones were brought back. And of course, Joe Biden was standing on a tarmac, not worried about the families, but looking at his watch to see what time he could get out of there. Danielle says Biden is such an embarrassment.
He really is.
Just walking off stage, that man's up there by himself. Fortunately, nobody else left. Everybody else knew what was going on except one person, Joe Biden, which is why I'm sorry if anybody would even think of casting a vote for that man. Something is wrong with your thinking. Something is either your head's in the sand or you've got some personal issues because you hate Trump so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Bendy says he probably had to go potty.
He probably did have to go potty. The poor guy has, well, no, I'm not going to say poor. I feel bad in the fact that he has dementia. He clearly has a brain problem and he probably did have to go potty. Or like we talked about yesterday, he probably needed his Depends changed. But the thing of it is he's so embarrassing and corrupt. And it's between them and the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bushes. What crime families are running this country?
And this is just, it's once again, it's day after day after day after day after day. Well, we bring this up because in the midst of Joe Biden embarrassing himself on a daily basis, and not to mention, by the way, today is also D-Day for Hunter Biden and his lawyer team to accept some sort of diversion. It was a diversion plea where he had to plea in regards to the case that he had before that was thrown out. Now, we already know he's going to get a sweetheart deal again. It's going to, even though the judge played tough and didn't accept his plea deal last time, but they've got to come to the table. So Comer with the Republican House Oversight Committee, Representative Comer, is still trying to get all kinds of information. He says he's never been stonewalled this much in his life, couldn't imagine being stonewalled more, not only by the Biden administration, but by the DOJ. But that story is not going away. Regardless of what happens, it's not going away, and people are still trying to dig. It's not a good thing for Joe Biden. It irks him, and it should. So that's going on. Joe Biden's out embarrassing himself on a daily basis. He doesn't know how to speak to the press. He doesn't know where to stand. He doesn't know where to stay, kind of like a dog. Sit, stay. He doesn't know what to do. He's like a lost puppy, just floating around, just whatever. I'm going to go over here, except with no energy. Well, now his VP is out doing interviews saying that she's ready to, quote, fulfill her constitutional duty to assume the presidency should her boss, President Biden, be able to govern, as, of course, questions are swirling around his age, his health, his competency to do the job. Who in their right mind would go out and say, yeah, and say if my boss isn't going to be able to do this job because he's having some problems, I'm going to be taking his job.
That's disrespectful in and of itself. But
she's an idiot.
She is an idiot. And she hates him anyway. She doesn't want to work with him. She just wants his job.
I have never seen a more dysfunctional White House. Nobody, not in our life. We have never seen a more dysfunctional White House, a more dysfunctional DOJ, a more dysfunctional FBI, at least from the top when it comes down, than what we have seen over the last couple of years. You can't make up the crap that's going on. And then now, could you imagine if Biden would have said something about Obama?
No. Could you
McCain about Bush?
No.
Pence about Trump? Hell no. But then there's Democrats that will accept this shit. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's what?
Yeah.
Is it just me or do people even care anymore?
Well, and like Mary said, it's because they appoint people not on their qualifications, but their gender or race or sexual preference. Like, what's her name? Karine, whatever, Karine.
KJP.
Yeah, KJP. She too is a big fat liar that just stands up there that she was only picked or selected because she's a lesbian and she's black and a female.
Yeah, a black female lesbian.
Yeah, they don't care.
I mean, I give her credit. She's got the worst job on the planet. I do give her credit.
She lies really well with a straight face, too.
And she keeps her cool and whatever. So she can keep her cool and tell lies and regurgitate, but she has to deal with that shit on a daily basis.
Right.
Then you have Kamala coming out. But who's running the show? This is a serious issue where we already know Biden is an absolute idiot joke. He's terrible. Our country is in shambles because of this one man.
Yep.
He is the leader because we saw how good our country could be with one man when it was Donald Trump. So we went from having the best of the best to the worst of the worst. And if things weren't bad enough already, now you have a VP who refused to go to the border and clean it up after being tasked with that by the president. She's running roughshod, running her mouth, saying things. I mean, not only is it disrespectful to Biden, it's bad for our country, and it's bad in regards to how we're seen nationwide if there wasn't a horrible feeling already about us, where you now have the VP coming out and saying, yeah, I'm here to take over. I'll do whatever I need to do. Then she goes, after she said that, then she tries to walk it back a little bit, a little bit after what's been said. Well, Joe Biden's going to be fine. So that's not going to come to fruition. But let us also understand that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president.
Oh,
honey, then why are you even talking about it? Zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket. Nobody wants to hear it. We know exactly what you're trying to do. Okay. There are games at play, as I say.
Yeah.
Things are always working behind the scenes that we don't know about. Somebody put her out there on purpose to do that. This was a setup interview. She knew exactly what she was going to say.
Yep.
Who's doing it? We know why, because there's no way in hell Biden can run for president. He just can't.
Yeah.
Especially with the brand new AP poll that showed that 77% of Americans, including 69% of Democrats, don't want Biden for a second term because they think he's too old.
Mm-hmm.
That's some serious shit.
That is some serious shit.
Those numbers are as high as you could imagine for a president coming back.
Well, and we've talked about this a dozen times, that Obama, and we were talking about him earlier, he moved there on purpose during the time for Donald Trump to spy on him, to cause trouble, to instigate. And now he's still there talking in an earpiece to whoever the Joe is of the day. And he completely owns and runs Cammie. I mean, but the real question is who's above him? Who's above him? We can speculate. We know it's the people that are interested in the New World Order, and we know it's the big corporation types. We are a laughing stock, and we are a joke of the world.
Speaking of a laughing stock, these quotes. She's like, Cammie, I see him every day. A substantial amount of time we spend together is in the Oval Office, where I see how his ability to understand issues and weave through complex issues in a way that no one else can to make smart and important decisions. I can't even finish the quote without laughing. On behalf of the American people have played out.
Can you even say that with a straight face? Because she doesn't think that the whole time. She's wishing
she called
his
him
death.
a racist. She doesn't like him.
Right.
She was appointed to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
Jill didn't want her to be part of the team. They hate each other. They don't respect each other. They don't think each other's good. She's not doing work. She didn't go do what he told her to go do.
Mm-hmm.
The border's in shambles. She's never worked there. She has said a bunch of idiotic things. She has shown herself to be very irresponsible. Not opinions, fact. We have already seen it. We as Americans, I believe, have a very significant interest, both in terms of our security, but also our prosperity today and in the future. Okay.
You got to do her laugh.
I don't know. We got to pull that up.
We do, because her laugh in and of itself, when I could just hear her laughing as she's talking like that, it's just ridiculous. And you know what?
Yeah, as Donald Trump said, Cammie, she's like, the bus is yellow. The yellow bus goes here. The yellow bus goes there, because that's what the yellow bus does. It goes everywhere.
And it goes here and there and everywhere. She talks, you know what she would be, except for I wouldn't trust her around children. She would be a good kindergarten teacher. The way that she talks, so sing-songy, and she's over here and then over there and then up here. And
I don't know. I was just.
But you don't want her around kids, because that in itself is frightening.
If we didn't know already, she hasn't messed with the border. Biden hasn't messed with the border. More video. Whenever we get it, we show it. The Biden situation. Check out the migrants. Migrants are now lined up literally Our friend John Rourke shows us video from the Great American Cleanup. We've also got video that we're showing now when it comes to the whole situation about, look at this, migrants heading into U.S. border. This video just came out yesterday, 2 days ago, and it gives you an idea. Look at all these people. People just wait. There's literally coming into our country. And when we get the video and we see the video, we show it so that people get somewhat of an idea of what's happening. Because we're not seeing this in the St. Louis area, but guess what? It's coming to this country. It's gotten so bad in New York that people have lost their minds. They're trying to do something about it right now. They're trying to stand up. They're trying to stop, literally stop people from coming in to their country or your state because of what people are doing coming into this country illegally. Angie says, Vic, it's like that over here as well.
And that's the UK.
In the UK. Interesting. To see.
Yeah.
Okay, we show you that video, and we've shown Democrats are all over Joe Biden now. Governors across this country. You have senators calling out Biden, do more, do more, do more. Which this is going to get bad, and it's going to get violent at some point in time. It will. Staten Island. They're watching their city be overrun by illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. And this is just another example as we play that video for you of what's happening. You have residents now stand up trying to block buses from coming into their communities because they're like, we're not dealing with this anymore. I mean, look at that scene. Joe, you can play it, isn't it? These are buses trying to go in, and residents have had enough. They're going after their leaders. And that's why the governor, Hochul, and Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, are losing their minds and calling out Biden massively publicly, going after him. And then, of course, if you check in on national news or local news over there, they don't.
You don't see this at all there. But you know what, Vic, you had said earlier that it isn't really happening around here, but it is. You
don't see it.
You just don't see it. That's right. They are. If you go to the airport in any state, but you got to go like in the middle of the night, in between 3 and 4 in the morning or 2 and 4 in the morning, you will see men. It's men of different nationalities come off the plane. It'll be a plane of all Chinese men or all Middle Eastern men or all, Hispanic men. There are buses waiting for them and they're taken. And right now, the target right now in the state of Missouri, well, it used to be Springfield. Right now, the target is O'Fallon, Missouri. And they even had to turn a Catholic church into non-English speaking. It's right here. They're just doing it a little bit more subtle. They're doing it at the nighttime. And where are they housing them? Where are they all? That's what I'd like to know. They're here. Where are they? Well, I can see them. I see them in the store. I see them at my doctor's office. So, but where are they housing? All these new apartment complexes that are coming in, that's where they're going to go?
Yeah, it's gotten really bad in New York, and it's going to come to every state. It's just a matter of time before it happens. It's frustrating. I've got to have a little bit more of a fun, positive thing here. But when we get them, we do show you the videos. Our friend, Brad Young from Hairstyle Fisher & Young, our resident attorney.
Yes.
He sent me this funny video yesterday with Bob Hope. And wouldn't it be fun to see, well, we do see sometimes comedians making fun of Democrats or Republicans. But this video is absolutely funny when it comes to, here's Bob Hope talking about zombies and, I guess, Democrats.
Yes.
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
How horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
I love it. I've seen that video and it makes me laugh every time. They even knew back then that Democrats are zombies.
With no will of their own, just walking around like in a state of shock. Yeah, like Democrats.
Wouldn't you wonder what Bob Hope would have thought about that with the zombies?
Oh,
with
any
all of
of
us
them.
looking around zombies, that we were just walking on lines in grocery stores and masks on our face and looking with our eyes all wide open because we thought we were going to drop dead the next day. I would love to know what Bob Hope would think about that now. Do you think Bob Hope would have wore a mask?
Bob Hope would be a Trump fan.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
no
And
doubt.
he would not have put a mask on his face.
And Trump mania is running wild. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
we've seen all the videos, blacks for Trump.
Yes.
Hispanics for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese for Trump. I saw that video today. Massive amounts
Love
of
it.
people.
Yeah.
Was that you who sent me that video, Joe?
Yeah, I actually sent it during the show. I didn't think you'd watch it while the show was going.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't see my phone a lot, but I've seen that. I saw that video last night too. You don't have that called up, do you?
I don't, but I can get it called up if you want to play the other video first.
Sure, you can do that. Anyway, Trump is getting more and more support in New York. Now, he didn't win New York.
No, he didn't.
And that's because there were a lot of registered Democrats.
For sure.
But it is fun to see things like this at a baseball game.
Warms my heart.
I know. Check this out. People dropping a Trump flag at Yankee Stadium. This is
Wait. Corner! God damn it. Nice. Corner. Yeah, look at that.
Whoop, whoop. And that was
Finish the wall.
Yes, finish the wall. And it says Trump 2024 because he's been having all over the place Trump flags that are in stadiums. But now New Yorkers are getting involved and they're saying Trump 24. So, yeah, it's a thing.
I hadn't seen that before. Yeah. I hadn't been. I know you could go, oh, you guys are just Trump shills. No, we're bringing out what's happening. I mean, there are people that are getting excited, like very,
Correct.
very, very excited because they're angry and they're fed up with everything that's going on. When's the last time you saw a massive parade this big? Japanese checking in for Trump. Okay, just try to imagine this.
Wow, that's awesome.
If somehow, some way, Donald Trump runs for president and doesn't win.
I hope people really stand
But I still don't
up.
think Joe Biden's going to be running. I still think it's going to be somebody else.
No. Well, and have you seen any other candidate? Any candidate, Republican, Democrat, Independent, ever have this kind of support?
Never.
Ever. That's why
Obama, his first term, once he got in, I mean,
I think people really liked him the first term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
but
he
I don't think
started-
of this magnitude, though. I don't know. I didn't see it. Maybe I wasn't looking, but I sure didn't see it. I didn't see people walking up and down streets and having car parades. It says Obama and this and that.
Well, Rob Bazell says the lockdowns are coming. I don't know what that means, but we'll see where we go because now we have a Maryland public elementary school reinstating COVID mask requirements, and they're ordering some kids to wear the N95 mask. Now, what's bizarre about this whole damn situation, they had a handful of kids test positive for COVID-19, the flu. Oh my God, we had kids. Oh my God. They don't die. I'm sorry. They don't. Most of these kids are going to be just fine. And we've already got the research to prove it.
And most kids, you couldn't even tell that they had it.
So they actually addressed this letter to parents. And they said in one specific classroom, oh my God, how dare COVID come into our lives? one classroom, they had 3 or more kids who tested positive for COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on these tests, once again,
Yep.
that we don't even know if these tests are good, are real, or whatever, especially with the amplification, because the government has made these tests with an amplification that's going to make them more privy to pick up flu, coughs, whatever. And then, it registers. It must be COVID-19. That's how the tests work. So we're taking steps to keep our school environment as safe as possible. Okay. If you want to keep your school environment safe as possible, fine. Number one, it doesn't work with mask. And number two, we already know we've dealt with flu in the past. So the school principal, Rebecca Kennedy, said that N95 mask requirements come to prevent further transmission in the classroom for the next 10 days.
You know the psychological damage of having that sort of a mask on a child will be? I don't. But long term, we're going to find out there's going to be some serious psychological problems with our children.
So they said that additional N95 masks have been distributed to students and staff just in certain classes or activities for 10 days. But hey, it's all right when they're eating and drinking. Oh, you mean if COVID is so potent that it can go wherever it needs to go and your mask is going to stop it and it's just sitting right there outside of the mask waiting?
Right.
So you're going to let the kids take the mask off and eat and drink, but then the COVID just going to wait for them to eat and drink, and then it'll wait for you to put your mask on to try to get back in?
Do you imagine?
Do you know how stupid you are, school? That principal should be fired immediately.
Absolutely.
How stupid can you be?
They have to be stupid. Little kids, as Aaron had said on the chat line, they're a petri dish of germs anyway. And then you put that mask on their face and they just have all that booger and snot and it goes back up into their head. And then they're going to end up with a sinus infection that has nothing to do with COVID. It has to do with covering their nose.
Derek says we need to get sealed COVID test, have a medical professional in studio, open the test and test different objects, apples, oranges, have them test it to see what comes back.
Yes.
I know somebody who did not that same thing, but a similar test, and things came positive that had nothing to do with being sick.
Correct.
What do you got, buddy?
We have Emily backstage.
Oh, okay. We're ready to go. All right. It is our Weed Wednesday segment. And we get to check in with our friend, Emily Williams. She's with Greenlight. She is one of their general managers. And Emily, we love you, girl. How are you doing?
Good. How you guys doing this morning?
Oh, man, we're doing good. Probably not as good as the people that will be going to your underground sale. That's for sure.
Yes. So this Friday and Saturday, we're having our monthly underground event from 12 to 8 at our Ferguson location at 517 South Florissant Road. So
How many people usually show up for that in that time period?
So on Friday, we usually see we've seen anywhere from 600 to 900 on our Fridays.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
On Saturdays, we've seen, anywhere, around the same, depending on the month, but it's been sporadic. So it's been a little bit different every month.
Okay, when you come into the underground, do you get all kinds of products that you guys always sell, or are they just specific products?
So it's different every month. It depends on what the vendors want to bring in. Some vendors want to bring in new products that they haven't released yet, which is super cool. They get the chance to talk about the new products that are hitting the market, and it's their. We've done some releases here of brand new products, and a lot of the time it is things that we haven't had on our shelves yet. So it's it's just that you're getting knowledge of new things back here. It's pretty cool.
Okay, we're talking with Emily Williams. She's a general manager of the Greenlight store, one of the stores. Your store, again, is located where, Emily?
517 South Florissant Road in Ferguson.
Okay, and you guys seem to be packed. Greenlight, as we talk about, the biggest and best cannabis dispensary in the state. It allows you guys to have the best prices, the best products. I've been there myself. I've checked it out. It blows people absolutely away. Are you noticing more and more people coming in as they learn more and more how they can get products that can help them and their families?
Absolutely. Yeah, we just the other day I had somebody, a 96-year-old that never came in with his it was his nephew, and never tried it before in his life. He was dealing with some pain issues, and yeah, it was super cool to be part of his first experience. Yeah.
What kind of product were you guys recommending to a 96-year-old?
So he didn't want to smoke, but he wanted to eat some gummies. So we went the gummy route, a low dose, just to start out, because it is a learning process with that kind of stuff. Everybody's different. Like, I like to use my husband and I as an example. He could take 5 milligrams and be rocked, and I'll have to take like 50. So everybody's different. It is a complete difference. That, there's a lot of things that go into feeling the edibles. So the first, a big thing that we like to educate on the first timers is it's a learning process, and start low and go slow. Because you could always take more, but you can't take less. You could always, if you're not feeling it yet, you could always take more. But when you get to that point, where you're a little too high, you'll just have to sleep it off. But so we just big on education here.
Yeah, we think we need some cancel this gummies after we talk politics, and everybody gets frustrated with politics and COVID and mask and everything. I was like, okay, Vic needs to take the edge off just a little bit.
That's it.
We need a Vic gummy. Joe would like to give me a Vic gummy. That's for sure.
Vic gummy. They can name one Vic.
Yeah, the post-show gummy when it comes from that. Emily, what other situations are you guys encountering or finding out from people when they come in? Things that people are saying, talking, maybe how they're being helped. Are there new products being asked for? Anything like that?
One big thing that's recently hit the market that people were asking for a while was infused pre-rolls. That's really big now. So, you're not just getting the flower, in a regular pre-roll, they're infusing it with some type of wax, some type of distillate product. So it's a little bit of a higher potency. So I'd say those are newer. You ever hear of Moon Rocks?
No. What's going on with Moon Rocks?
Moon Rocks is it's a bud that's coated in like some type of wax that's rolled in like a keef. So it's a more potent flower to smoke, but that's something that people have been asking for that recently hit the market too. It goes quick though. It doesn't stay on our shelves too long, but it's just another higher potency option for people.
Wow, it's amazing to learn. Do you have any idea how many different types of products you guys offer at Greenlight? I know you're the biggest, baddest, best cannabis dispensary in the state, but I remember walking in, I'm like, my gosh, there's everything.
Yeah, we probably have, I'm trying to put a number on it as hard. We're probably like over 1,000 different SKUs. Like it's pretty wild in here. There's the options are endless.
When somebody comes in, can you explain what they have to do the first thing? Because you come in and you have to show an ID, right?
Oh yeah. So that's the first step when you come in. We have to take everybody's ID. You have to be over the age of 21. And yeah, so we bring you back, and it's all like everybody's different. Like we hear all different things from what people are looking for every day. So it's just, we take it as it is. And all of our, bud tenders here, they're trained and ready to go and ready to answer your questions. But yeah, we just try to make it the most comfortable experience, because it could be intimidating coming into a place that you have no idea what anything's about, so we just here at Greenlight, we're big on, making everybody feel comfortable coming through the doors and getting what you need and getting you out the door to use it. So,
when the products for the underground, if you can, again, let everybody know the time for the underground, this whole weekend, and what products you'll be focusing on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's going to be this Friday and Saturday, the 8th and the 9th from 12 to 8 at the Ferguson location. We'll have 7 to 8 different vendors back here where you guys will get to shop directly from at discounted prices. It's where the deals will be at for the weekend, and the deals are always at Greenlight. So,
what about when you talk about vendors? How does that differ? And I'm sorry, I'm fascinated by this, because we know people who try to offer products. How do you select vendors, and how do vendors get into the business of being able to do what they're doing and offering you a product?
So first thing is you have to be a licensed vendor through the state. So it's only the MIPS and the manufacturer, the manufacturers cultivation sites that are able to come in and, promote their products. So that's we pick from the MIPS and cultivation sites throughout the state. We have somebody who, sets up, his name's Darius, and he sets up all the underground events and, talks to the vendors, talks about the different deals that we're going to be bringing in. So yeah, we, that's kind of on the back end, and that all that kind of stuff gets done.
Lizzie, any questions? I didn't want to dominate the interview too much.
No, you're good. Somebody was saying, okay, wax, when you were talking about that, or they actually smoke wax?
So it's what we like to call it is it's concentrate. So it's a concentrated form of flower. So there's different extraction processes that happen. But basically, a popular process is live resin extraction. So they take, as soon as they chop that plant down, they flash freeze it. And then it goes through the extraction process where you're preserving all of those original cannabinoids and terpenes. And basically it comes to a super potent, it looks like a little batter wax, that you could scoop. And, there's different forms and different ways to smoke it. But it's basically a concentrated form of flower, just a more higher potency.
Got
so
it.
Tends to be anywhere, but most of the time in between 20 and 30%. The concentrates are upwards to 70 to 90 most of the time.
Wow. Is there a question that you get asked that you don't know, Emily, when you're in the store?
Yeah, I got where I still have to look some things up, so there's some questions that get me, but I mean, I've seen a lot, throughout my 5 years in the industry. I've gained a lot of knowledge, but I'll never call myself an expert here.
And there's no doubt, and we're promoting this. We won't put your name on it yet, but in backroom chat rooms and stuff on the back channels, we'll tell everybody that we all agree that cannabis kills COVID. So all you have to do is smoke the cannabis and it'll kill the COVID, right?
Knock on wood. I've been a consumer for about.
There you go. You're our case study.
Yeah. So you need a shirt that says you don't want COVID, eat a gummy.
Yeah.
No, that's your new shirt. Greenlight. Cannabis kills COVID.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah. We're not going to put your name associated with that. I'm sorry.
But you could wear it if you wanted to.
I think it'd be a great shirt.
I think so too.
Derek, our merchandiser, if you're listening, we're going to make our own Cannabis Kills COVID with Greenlight on it. We'll let Tom Bomarito know. Hey, Tom, we're just going to take your graphic and put on a shirt.
He'll be fine with it. He'll be fine.
Real quick again, before we let you go, our friend, how can people come out again this weekend in the Times?
So come on out it's 517 South Florissant Road, Friday and Saturday, the 8th and 9th from 12 to 8, where the deals will be at this weekend.
And people should expect a crowd, right? I mean, just you're going to have a crowd. We just want to make sure everybody's aware.
Yeah, we do, but we get everybody in and out. We have a really awesome flow in here. This is our 10th underground here, so we got it down pat.
Hey, by the way, our merchandiser said all I need is the design from Tom, and I've got it.
The green line graphic.
Cannabis kills COVID. Emily, we love you, girl. We'll talk to you next time. Okay.
Always a great time. Thanks for having me. You guys have a great
Emily. You too.
All righty. Bye-bye. She's worried about me. Emily, you're off screen, but you're worried. She's like, oh my God, what's that Vic guy going to do?
Yeah, she's worried. She's probably got off right now and called Tom Bomarito and said, that Vic guy on Cancel This? He is strange.
This is cancelthisshow.com. Joe, would you wear a shirt that said Cannabis Kills COVID?
Sure, why not?
Hell yeah, you would. I know you would. Cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and, of course, Pro Joe, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. We were talking about the COVID a little bit with what happened with Maryland and testing. And I just, before we were doing our interview, and because I wanted to make sure that we got it in. I knew she was coming, and we got to her just a couple minutes later than what I thought. Parents at that school in Maryland need to step up right now.
They do, right this second.
Because this is one of those things where they try to ease it in.
Yep.
It's like, my kids are not going to wear it. And your kids are going to be in no better situation by wearing an N95 mask at school than without one.
I agree. And Rob earlier on the chat line was saying they're going to try is the operative word, is to lock us down harder than they did the last time, because they're going to scare people again. And if it doesn't work, they'll try another tactic. But it's because the election is coming up. They see that Donald Trump is just when they kick him down, he rises even higher and higher and higher. So they are going to try to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to in some areas because, like you had said before, fool you once, you can't fool you twice. And then there's many people who never did it the last time. But any of us that really didn't do it the last time, we've got to speak up. We've got to speak up, or they are going to try to do it again.
Hey, by the way, a little comic relief. Aaron, I'm sorry. Aaron says, Vic, don't do that. Don't say that, or they're going to outlaw it, talking about cannabis, just like they did the I word. Yeah, but the I word has kind of been accepted back, though, now.
It has been accepted back. Now, it'll be interesting.
Although that's a funny quote, Aaron.
That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
Parents, step up. Parents, do what you need to do. If you have kids, and I know it's in that classroom, and then there's peer pressure that's put on you, and then they may set your kid aside or take your kid outside of the classroom.
Correct.
Which is total crap, but that's what can kind of happen. You just have to be ready for any of it. I don't know. The principal concluded that letter in Maryland to the parents by saying that they're just following the newly reinstated mask rules to ensure that the staff and students remain healthy for in-person learning. And if there's one thing I've learned about COVID, and anybody in a position of authority or power of sorts in a school, a business, or anything, everybody wants to run for the hills.
They do.
Oh, well, we don't want to make a decision. We just want to sit back. We're just doing what we're told we need to do.
Correct.
No, you're not. Have a spine.
Yes.
Have a backbone. Do something, have some gumption, do not go back, because we have or ask, where is the medical evidence, the medical proof of the controlled study that shows that masking works?
Correct. And
we're
stop
still waiting.
saying
TikTok,
it's the
you're on the
CDC.
clock.
Yeah. Stop saying it's the CDC. The CDC in and of itself is a far left organization that likes to control. They've been doing that for years and years and years.
Well, I mean, the whole situation with the CDC and COVID, that made me think twice.
Yes.
I want to trust some of the organizations.
But you can't trust the CDC.
After what they did with COVID, no. After what they said, well, you have to get this cupcake or else you have to get it or you're hurting up. Then they come back and say, well, we were just doing what we had with the information at the time. So now we know that when they came to the forefront on the biggest stage, they blundered it.
They did blunder.
So we can't trust the CDC. And it's not just because, we're conspiracy theorists. It's because of what you did before.
Correct.
Your actions showed us not to trust you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And like Mary's right, we wouldn't have the nursing shortage if they hadn't have forced it the last time. But since they forced it, we have a shortage of so much because people don't want to be put in those precarious situations anymore where you go somewhere and they tell you have to get a mask, you have to do something. So they don't want to do it.
Hey, Joe, do we still have Emily on the line? We hear a lot of background noise. I just wanted to make sure if you didn't click her off yet.
Okay, I got you. Okay. There it is.
We don't want to hear anything from Greenlight that we shouldn't.
No,
we're good now.
No, could you imagine what might be said?
Hey, another topic before we get out of here today that we have to get into. Bill Gates made a nearly $100 million bet on Bud Light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bill Gates jumped in. Now, obviously, their stock was lower than it was before. Maybe he's bet. Bill Gates is not investing money unless he knows something.
Mm-hmm.
So he is investing in Anheuser-Busch. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation bought 1.7 million shares of AB valued at around $95 million.
Right. That makes you think there could be two reasons why that all happened. Did they tank AB on purpose for a reason? Or is he just an opportunist in this situation?
And a third situation, rewarding AB.
Yeah, that's the worst of it, is rewarding them for bad behavior.
We're going to reward you because we've seen that America doesn't like you anymore.
Yeah.
And since America doesn't like you, we're going to keep you in business by buying your stock.
Correct. You know what? I would love to.
95 million to us is nothing.
Nothing to him. Nothing to him. And when you look back at Bill Gates from far back, that little man has been trying to hurt people for a long time. I bet up in his brain, he is twisted. He is completely twisted. And so this also has a twisted twist as to why he did it. And I agree. It could very well be, let's reward the bad behavior and let's just go ahead and buy it all up and push it forward. But what do you think?
Is
people,
it because AB has other products coming? Are they?
Could be.
Is something else going on?
I think it's just a bailout.
Yeah, it's a bailout for sure.
Just a bailout.
Gates, who's previously admitted that he's not a beer drinker, has bought other beer brands in the past as well. Earlier this year,
Mhm.
the foundation also bought nearly $1 billion worth of Heineken's holding parent company.
Yeah. Well, and like Danielle saying, how is Gates allowed to continue the tyranny? And Troy saying Gates has sold his soul to Satan. Basically, it is. And someone earlier in the chat line said, how do those people get to that point that they own so much? This is just an opinion of mine. People who do that and are willing to hurt people to get it, they have zero scruples. And that's how they get that much money. They will kick people into the dirt anytime to get what they want. They had to have sold their soul to the devil.
Danielle says, do you think the moment Gates went super bad was when his face was slammed publicly with a pie? I don't know if you remember seeing that
Oh, I
video.
forgot about that.
Yeah, he was.
I
it
totally
was really,
forgot
really,
about
really
that.
embarrassing. And somebody,
I'm sure.
and I'm not a Gates fan either, but
But does that take, I mean, I've had a pie thrown in my face before by teachers at my preschool just to be funny.
Yeah, no,
but that didn't turn
you're
me
walking
into,
on the street and somebody comes up and smashes up, and that shouldn't happen to anybody.
No, it shouldn't.
Well,
it
I'm
shouldn't.
going to say back then, he probably deserved it then too.
He probably did.
Well, we
He just
all
didn't know it.
probably deserve a lot.
Right,
That,
right.
that we
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah.
should get, but shouldn't get in public.
I don't know. I mean, I'm yeah.
I mean, that's a
get that.
crime. When you have a pie slammed in your face, that's assault.
Yeah, it is
So,
an
I mean-
assault. Yeah, it is. It is. Just like yesterday. I mean, this is the same thing. We had talked about yesterday, Joel Osteen. And then one of the listeners sent me a video of a gentleman recording, and he just walks up to Joel Osteen and acts like he likes him. And then he says to him, "Hey, you're just a piece of shit." And then laughed and laughed. And of course, what does Joel Osteen do with his face? Just smiled and went away. No matter what you think about Joel Osteen, do you really record him and then have it go viral and call somebody a piece of shit because it's just your opinion? I don't know. I mean, people have gotten bold.
Yeah. Jeannie says it's a pie and he needs it again in his face.
He probably does. I agree.
If we all knew what was going on behind the scenes,
right.
Maybe we'd all be in agreement for something like that happening.
Well, he put poison in millions of people's body that killed them. I mean, think about that. He and Fauci literally are murderers of massive amounts.
Well, there are people that believe they did. That it's the cupcake that did it. I mean, there is that sentiment out there.
Well, for sure. For sure there is. And we've showed plenty of video here and talked about it on the show, the people that just drop. I mean, more so than ever before. They're just walking around. Athletes are just dropping. People, news reporters are just dropping. And I know that that's always happened, but not to the volume it's happening now.
Yeah, it is. And once again, tonight, we'll be watching, or at least I'll check out the Tucker Carlson interview as he's exposing Obama's past gay cocaine lovers and what happened there. And is there any more to that story that we find out tonight? So we'll get into that for tomorrow as well. Don't forget everything with Maui.
Yes.
An inside look from somebody who's getting all the information out of Maui. You won't want to miss that coming up on Friday as well. Plus our 200th episode. Check out our merchandise site, cancelthisshow.com. And we're grateful. We're appreciative. Thanks again for listening to this podcast for September 6th. For Pro Joe and Lizzie, I'm Vic. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.